paginaca. Okay.
I've been waiting for too long.
A punch for a punch. Looking for trouble? Test my fists first. My magic will redefine reality.
I am the moonlight that breaks through the darkness.
Power of Pegasus! This sphere
The
is
southern seas are my domain. Let's play together.
pain is the proof that I'm still alive. I love the smell of gunpowder in the morning. You see value in me? You should.
ကဲဒီ bro တွေဒါဒီတောင်းတမဟိုမှာဒီကျွန်တော်ဒီ dedicated channel မှာဟို giveaway ပေါက်ထိုင်ညီကိုတက်လုပ်ပြီးတာ bro ကျွန်တော်ဒီ YouTube live ပေါ်မှာကျွန်တော်ပြောရလေ dedicated channel လေး join ခဲ့ပြီးကြပါကျွန်တော် tournament မှာဝင်တပွဲ giveaway ပေးလို့ရှိပါတယ် bro ပြောရဲဒါကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ dedicated channel join ပြီးတော့ giveaway ပေါက်ထိုင်ညီကိုတက်လုပ်ပြီးတာပါကဲအားကြောင့်ချိုးလို့ကျွန်တော်မခေါ်ပြစ်ပါဘူး bro တွေဒါ giveaway ပေါက်တဲ့ညီကိုတွေပါ
Malachi enters the scene.
ကဲနောက်ခါတော့တော့ဘုံ giveaway ဆောနေဆိုတော့ bro ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ဟာ YouTube ဘိုင်းမှာရှာပြတယ်တကယ်လေးကို join ခဲ့ပြီပါ
May the blood of my enemies flow from my They call me a hero because I saved my nation from falling apart. ユイチハの家紋はその誇り高き一族の証でもあるんだ。
ကဲဟဲ့လို့ second align နဲ့ဆော့နေတယ်ဆိုတော့ channel join ခဲ့ပြီးကြပါတော့ bro dedicated channel လေး join ခဲ့ပြီပါ YouTube မှာကျွန်တော်တင်ပေးဘိုင်မှာတင်ပေးထားပါတယ်လုံးအောင်လှတယ်ကွာအမေ second အလားလေးနေအမေကဲဒီည YU ရဲ့အားပေးကြရင် bro တွေကဲအကောင်တော့တော့မှဟိုဆော့စေချင်ပါတယ် bro တွေကျွန်တော် budget နဲ့လောက်လောက်လေး quality လုပ်ပြရပါ bro တွေတည်းလေးဟိုတော့မှဟို giveaway လေးပါဝင်နေဆိုရင် bro အဲ့ YouTube ဘိုင်မှာချပြတဲ့ dedicated channel လေးကို join ခဲ့ပြီပါကြည့်ပါကောလို့ scan အလားလေးကြည့်ပဲကွာမပါရဘူးလားနောက်ခွဲတယ်မပါလို့မရဘူး bro ဒါကျွန်တော်တခွဲစာပဲငားထားတာတခွဲစာ giveaway လောက်ထားတာ bro မန်းထားတဲ့ ကဲဖန်ကိုဘာလို့မှလဲအောက်မှာ body လေးကိုလမ်းအောင်ဆွဲကျင်နေရပြီကဲ body ကမြင်သွားပြီရပြီတဝဲဘယ်လောက်လဲတဝဲ6000ဘရိုကြီးကဲဘောလေးပါမစ္စတာလမ်းအောင်ဆွဲထားလေးဖန်ချန်ကဲဖက်ပလက်နေရောက်ယူပါသေးရောကြီးကဲအောက်လေးမှာပဒယ်ထည့်နေပြီးရောကြီးဘာတန်းဘာလို့မှလဲတောက်လျှောက်ကိုစတိုင်းပေးထိုးနေရောကြီးကဲအော်ဖန်ကိုကျူတန်းဆွဲတာလွဲပါတယ်တော့ဖလက်ကားလေးမှပြီးလဲတန်တော့ဘူးဘရိုနောက်ဝဲရှိတာကြားရတယ်မရှိတော့ဘူးဘရိုကျွန်တော်စောင့်နေတာဘရိုကျွန်တော်တယ်လီဂရမ်မှာ support ထားတယ်အဲ့ကြောင့်ဘရိုစောင့်နေကျွန်တော်ဝဲဝါအောင်နာစားပြတာငါပြီးလို့ရမလားဘရိုတဲ့နောက်ဝဲကျွန်တော်ပါမယ်လေဘရိုပြောဟိုကြည့်လောက်မယ်ကျွန်တော်ဒီဝက်ပြီးပြောကြည့်မရလားလို့ကဲဘရိုကျွန်တော်အကုန်လုံးပါစေချင်တယ်ဒါကျွန်တော် giveaway ပေါက်တဲ့သူတွေလည်းလုပ်ပြရမလို့ဘရိုကြီးအောက်နာပါဘရိုကြီးကဲဖန်ကိုချုပ်တာလေ body ချုပ်တာလေဟိုချန်ကဲလောဒီပိတ်သုံးလာတယ်ကွာစကင်ရရောတော့ဆောက်လာတယ်ကဲကျွန်တော်ငှားပေးမယ်ပြီးကျွန်တော်ပို့ပေးမယ်ဘရိုကြီးကဲရောမစ္စတာဂျူလီယန်အောင်ဆွဲနေရတယ်ကျွန်တော်တော့လည်းမဟုတ်ခါမှမစော်ဘူးနော်ကျွန်တော်ပေးမယ်လေကျွန်တော်ကိုတဲ့ဟိုတုံဟန်းစာတဲ့အဲ့ကြောင်နေရတယ်ဘရိုဘာမှမဖြစ်ဒီဘန်းပါလို့လည်းဘာမှမဖြစ်ဘရိုနောက်ကျကျွန်တော် giveaway လို့ဘရိုထည့်ပေးမယ်ဘရိုမဟဲနိုင်စရာမလိုကျွန်တော်ပေးမယ်ဒီကြား3ဝဲစားတယ်ဘရိုကျွန်တော်ဒီဝဲပြီးကျွန်တော်ကြည့်မေးကြည့်လိုက်ရလာတော့တခါတည်းဟိုအော်လာမာလာလားလို့ကဲဗါလဲသူမဲရော်လာတယ်ဟေးကဲမင်းစတာဘာလို့မှလဲရော်ကြီးကတရားလေးတော့ထိုးထားတယ်ရော်ကြီးကဲဒီမှာ session လာတယ်ဆောက်တော့ try နေပြီတော့ဗာတန်းဒီမှာလာကာပြီးတာချန်ကဲဒီဘေး3မိနစ်ဒီမှာဘာလို့မှလဲတူရော short ပေးထားလေးကဲဒါလေးတော့ user တော့ပြန်ချပေးထားလေးရေမေးကြည့်ပြပါလားဘရိုလေဘရိုအဲ့ဟိုကျွန်တော်မေးကြည့်ပြမယ်ဘရိုဒါပေမဲ့ဒီညတော့ကျွန်တော်မရတော့ချင်တယ်ဒီညကျွန်တော်ဒီ web ပြီး YG ကြီးဦးမှာဆိုတော့ကဲမေးပြထားမယ်ဘရိုကဲဒီမှာတော့ဒါလေးရောလည်းမစိုးနေရတော့ကောက်ပါလေးဗာတန်းမလို့မှလဲအမေကျွန်တော် dedicated channel bro လာကြည့်ပြလိုက်ရရ bro ကိပေးလေးရ okay bro ပြောပြမယ်သူကပတ်စံဂျိုပေးထားတာ bro စောခဏမပြရတော့မဟုတ်ပြီးတော့ဒီ tournament 1 ဆော့မယ်ဆို bro တန်ရှင်းနေ10ယောက်ရှိ10ယောက်အစင်းဖြစ်နေမှရသူကကြာရင်မရအောင်တော့ကြာရင်သူကကွဲတန်းစပြတာရှားမခံဘူးကျွန်တော်9ယောက်ခေါ်မယ်ဘရို9ယောက်ခေါ်ပါရဲ့ဟုတ်ကဲ့ဘရိုစော့ကျင်တယ်ဆိုကျွန်တော်9ယောက်ရှာပေးမယ် ကဲဘာနဲ့ဘာလို့မလဲဖန်ကိုအဲ့ဒီမဲ့ခုတ်လာတယ်ကဲချန်ကဲရော်ရေးကဲဂျူနီယာဘာလို့မလဲကဲဂျူနီယာခြုံဆောင်နေရချန်ကဲလိုက်ဝချောင်းနေရရကွာဒီတော့တော့မမို့ဒီခွန်ညာဒီစကင်းကင်နေတယ်ကွာငါဆို share ကိုင်းပြင်မှာကဲဘာလဲဘာလို့မလဲဖန်ကိုတော့အုံးနေတော့ကာထားသေးရဲ့ကဲကဒီရလေးတော့မရှော့ပြီးလို့ဇက်ရှင်လုပ်လိုက်တာငါလိုက်ကဲဘာလဲရောဒီမှာရောခွမ်းကြောင်ပွားပြီးဖလကန်နဲ့ဝတ်ထိုးနေရအေးတေရောတေပါပါချန်ကဲလိုက်ပြီးပြည့်ခဲ့တာပလင်းရှောင်းလိုက်ကဲဒါမစ္စတာဖန်ကိုလို့လှုပ်ချင်နေရဘာလဲရောက်လာတဲ့အုံးနဲ့ကားရဲ့ဒီမှာတာတယ်နေရောဒီမှာဇက်ရှင်ဒီမှာစုံညတော့ကောက်ပြီးတော့ချောင်းနေရကြီးဇက်ရှင်နဲ့မှဝီထီရန်ရအောင်ကောက်ခဲ့တယ်ကဲဆိုကြီးတော့မလွတ်တော့ဘူးကဲမဖန်ဝင်တော့ကြိုက်ထားတယ်ရောက်ပြီဘာလဲမကြိုက်ထားတာရောကဲကျိုးစမ်းဆိုတာပါလေးရဲ့လို့ကဲမဇက်ရှင်တော်လမ်းတော့ပြည့်နေရဲ့မှဖန်ကမှာအာတီဘေးတော့မရှိတော့လို့လုပ်ရရနော်ကဲဟိုမှာတင်းမိတ်တွေရှိရတော့ဘယ်မှာတော့စင်ကြီးပြတယ်ဆရာကဲဒီမှာဒွန်ညာတကောင်လေးတော့မချက်ခံနေရပြီကဲဒီမှာဖန်ကုန်တော့ကြိုက်ပေးထားတယ်ဇက်ရှင်ကြိုက်ပေးထားရပြီကဲဘာလို့မလဲ body ရော်ကြီးကျိုးဆွဲတာပါလိုက်တော့ပွားပြီနော်မစ္စတာဒါခါရဲအဲ့ဒီပဲတော့မြင်လိုက်ကဲဘာလဲဖလာကားလို့လွဲပါပြီရော်ကြီးကဲကရီယာရတော့ထွက်လို့မရှိတော့ဘူးဒါမှကိုရန်လာတော့ဆွဲထားလေးရဲ့ဘာလဲပေးပြီးဖန်ကိုပြောလာဆိုရင်ဘာလို့မပါလာဘူးရော်ကြီးကဲဖန်ကိုဘာလို့မှလဲရော်ကြီးဖန်ကချုပ်ပြီးပါမင်းတော့ရှော့ပြီးရော်ကြီးကဲချမ်းကဲဒါပြီးတော့နာလေရော်ကြီးပြတော့မပြတ်ပါဘူးကဲဘောလေးမှာဂျူလီယန်တာဝါတော့ချိုးနေရော်ကြီးကဲဘာလဲတော့ညင်တော့မြန်ပါပြီရော်ကြီးက ကဲဖန်ကိုတော့လွတ်တော့ပါကွာချန်ကဒါပေမဲ့ကိတ်လေးအေးတစ်ဆက်ပဲလို့ရကွာကဲဒီမှာဘာလို့ပါလဲဆိုရင်ဒီမှာထောင်း oh my god ဘာလဲထိုးတော့ထိုးနေငါထိုးနေနှကောင်းကဲဂျူလီယန်တော့ဝင်တော့ရောက်လာပြီဘာလို့မှလဲကဲရောက်ရေးစိုးနေတော့ triple ကဲတော့ပောက်သွားပြီလို့ရချန်ကလေးမှထက်ရလာရင်တော့မီနီယမ်မှရမှာကဲအော်မကြနိုင်ပါလားရောက်ရေးကဲဒီမှာတော့လော်ရီဆက်ပြီးထွိုင်းနေပြီရောကဲဂျူဒီယာတွေရောဒီမလေးမရှိရဒီဟိုတာဝါတွေရောရောက်တော့ယူထားလေးရဲ့ကဲရောက်ရေးဂျူနီယာဒါပေမဲ့လောရနာရွာကြက်တော့မကြက်ပါဘူးကဲဗာလဲဒီဘက်ခွန်ချန်တော့မထိုးနေပတာကလေးလွဲပါလေကဲဒီမှာအပေါ်လေးကဒီမင်္ဂလာပေါ်လေးကိုပြပြရောက်ရေးကဲဗာလဲသူမှန်ထိုးထားလဲဒါပေမဲ့ဖန်ကတော့ပြန်ကြိုက်ပြီးထားလေးရောကဲရတော့လာလေးကဲရောက်ရေးမရတော့ဘူးလို့မစ္စတာဘာလို့မှလဲဟိုအဲ့ဒီမေးတော့သုံးမိထားတယ်ကဲတော့ဗာချန်ခဲတကောင်မဲကြံတော့တယ်လို့ကဲနောက်ဆုံး Q&A နဲ့အမှန်လားအဲ့တော့မအန်ဒီပြီးဟိုဘက်ကလည်းတွေ့တော့ကိုင်းနေပြီရောကြီးချန်ခဲတမ်းပြီးတော့မခံနိုင်ဘူးနော်ရောကြီးဘက်ကတွေ့ရတော့ရောပါပြီပြန်တော့ပတ်နေရတယ်ကဲဗာလဲဒီမှာကြည့်ဂျူဒီယာတော့အုံးနေတော့ကာထားလေးရောကြီးကဲဘက်ကစကန်တော့ညတော့ထွက်လာပြီရောကြီးဒီလောနဲ့ဆိုအန်လို့ရတယ်ကဲဖန်ကိုလာဆိုအိုးမစ္စတာပါလာတယ်ရောကြီးတခါလေးကိုရိုက်ချလိုက်ပြီရောကြီးဒီမှာချန်ကအဲ့ဒီဘက်ကိုကျွန်တော်3မီတာလေးတွေးတော့ short မီတာလေးကျစင်းတော့ဖန်ကိုပါဟွာဆိုအော်ဒီမှာဘာတန်းဒီမှာဖန်ကိုတော့အုံးနဲ့ကားတော့တစ်ချက်တော့ထိုးထားတယ်ကဲဒီဘောညောက်တက်သွားပြီဘရိုကီဘီနံပါတ်4ပေးပါပေးပြန်ဘရိုကဲအိုးရတက်ဆွဲထားလေးရဲ့ဘာတန်းကပါလာတယ်ရောရေးကဲဘာလို့မဆွဲမှတွေးတော့ short ထားလေးရဲ့ကဲဒီမှာဘာလဲဟိုဖနကလည်းခွန်ချန်တော့ရောက်လို့ဖြတ်ထားလေးရဲ့ကဲကဲဘယ်လိုရှင်တကောင်ထဲနော်ရောရေးမစ္စတာဂျီရောလန်ဆိုတာဟိုဂျူလီယန်ဒါပေမဲ့ကိတ်လိုက်တာဟွာရ triple ကဲတော့ပေါ့ပေါ့ကြီးကဲယူဇာချင်းနဲ့မထားရလဲမယ်ဆိုမီနီရဲ့အိုးမရတော့ဘူးရောကြီး Why not all of it? Okay, now so keep winning to do your where you are. Be right. Okay. Bro, give me never be by. Bro, who level lah? Okay, last all we need go. Jesus, the my. Abi. Maybe about on it. Bro, maybe I bro, don't know, bro. Patching some, era, you know, you know, Georgia, Nation Summer. The Nasa was, you know, or payroll on your bro, you know, the Nya one G teaching. Bro, but that's all, man, bro. Who there? Okay, you know, maybe me, just check out the maybe me. Bro, don't worry. Bro, maybe I just bro, patching some, I you know, you know, I'm you know, Nalo Yama. Bro, manager so man, I don't me, bro. Manager, Manila Nyala. So, no, I do the Mila, the 1G or Tournament. Only bro, you know, 1G very teaching. So, really, me now. Bro, manager so, bro, manager so, me, between our soldier and chill me kind of. Because you know, one of material. You know, 1G very teaching, bro. Who dance on man? Oh, joke on. Who dance on man? So, the channel made you my bro, canal. Oh, hey, bro. Say it, Go nine malama, who's original? Why do you wear a go nine lama, conline lama? What she walk on I'm on Mawa, Shinai lama, Jola. Now, leave my Tiva, yeah. Okay, bro, me here, you know, maybe near. He's all man, check or here. Go nine malama, one jam, bro, go nine malama, one Shinai lama. Okay, bro, me can, you know, maybe I bro. Jeju sorry, who am I? Bro, who me out of the Kona ma Yaro Madia, bro, Kona Namana. Bro, I Namas were bro, my like genius, the shell, bank people. broker နဲ့ဖုန်းနဲ့ကြည်လာတဲ့စတူဒီယိုလူတွေ tournament broker ဖုန်းနဲ့ကြည်လာတဲ့စတူဒီယိုလူတွေ tournament ဆော့ကျင်တာတဲ့ bro ခုဆော့9နိုင်မှရမှာတဲ့ bro 9နိုင်နောက်ပိုင်းမရတော့မှာ bro အဲ့ငှားမှာလားငှားမယ်ဆိုကျွန်တော်မေးပြီလို့ bro KB လက်လွှဲပြီးတော့တခါချိတ်လိုက်တော့ငှားမယ်ဆို bro ငှားမယ်ဆိုအဲ့ bro ဘယ်နဲ့ဝဲဆို3ဝဲလား2ဝဲလား1ဝဲလားKB နဲ့ပဲ bro 3ကွဲတဲ့ကဲ bro ကျွန်တော်သူ့ရဲ့ KB နဲ့ပဲပေးမယ် bro လွှဲလိုက် bro ကျွန်တော်ကဒီ live နဲ့နေတယ်ကျွန်တော် KB နဲ့တွဲပြီးအဆင်မပြေတော့ပါ bro ကကျွန်တော်အဲ့လွှဲမယ် KB နဲ့မှာကျွန်တော်ဒီဟို online KB နဲ့မှာပေးရင် bro လွှဲလိုက်ကျွန်တော်စကားပြောပေးမယ်ကဲဒီ online KB နဲ့မှာပေးမယ် bro ရဲ့ KB နဲ့လမ်းလွှဲလိုက်ကျွန်တော်ဒီ live လွှဲနေတယ်ကျွန်တော် KB နဲ့ကြာအဆင်မပြေလို့ကဲကျွန်တော် online က KB တောင်းမိနေတယ်ကဲကျွန်တော်မှရှိရမင်းနေရ bro ကျွန်တော်ပြောမယ်နော်သူ KB နဲ့ပဲ39ခွန်139 9428 bro ဟိုကြားလာကျွန်တော်လမ်းပေးရညနာမြန်နေတာမသိဘူးနာမည်ကားတဲ့ဟွာဟုတ်တယ် bro အဲ့ bro အဲ့ဟုတ်လားမဟုတ်လားကျွန်တော်ဖုန်းနံပါတ်တစ်ချက်တော့ကျွန်တော် live မှာကြံမှန်းပေးပါဦးဖုန်းနံပါတ်နဲ့မှားမှာဆိုလို့ကျွန်တော်မနာကြလိုက်တဲ့ဖုန်းနံပါတ်ကြံမှန်းမပေးပါဦးတစ်ချက်တော့39ခွန်139 အဲ့ဖုန်းနံပါတ်တွေတစ်ချက်တော့ဟို like comment မှာမှန်းပေးပါဦး bro မှားမှာဆိုလို့တော့ဒါလကားပတ်စံနှမျောစရာထင်းနေမှာဆိုလွှဲပြီးပြီ bro တဲ့ဟုတ်လားညံလာ ਈ လားအေးကျွန်တော်မေးကြည့်တော့မယ်မှားမှာဆို bro ကညံလာ ਈ လားကဲbro KB နာမည်လေးပြောပါအောင် bro ဘယ်ဖုန်းနံပါတ်လွှဲရတိအောင်လို့ဒီ bro လွှဲပြီး bro တဲ့ဟွာနင်းကာတဲ့ဟွာတက်ခံနောင်လာဝင်လာမေးပြီတဲ့ကဲ bro ကကျွန်တော်မေးကြည့်တော့မယ် bro ရဲ့လွှဲလူနာမည်ပြောပါလေ bro လွှဲရနာမည်ပြောပါလေဘရိုလဲတဲ့ KB နဲ့မပြောပါအဲ့ဒါမှသူကအတီးပြူမှာကဲဘရိုလွဲတဲ့ခုန KB နာမည်လေးပြောပါဦး Oh, bro game in a man now. Oh, okay. Ah, yeah. Ma vào vậy ngà. Rồi. Thế đã khai nó hậu đầu để thế đã khai nó. Ma vào vậy mấy nó anh nhà lúc khai nó à. Đó còn bao lúc bây giờ là bro đấy. Cái thì mẹ anh tao mà muốn thì mẹ nào vậy số cô này chả số mà mẹ bro đeo cái mình đông mới sang ngã bây giờ bro mình số đi à bro. Cái ông ngã sam trên này chuyện này. Ê bao lúc bây giờ là vô đấy bro bro channel cao đi à. Bà bị mà mình số khai ban nhái của máy của. Cho nên nhân đồng mình chỉ đại đi. Ok yoကျွန်တော် ID ပဲเนาะကိုနိုင် body ဟုတ်တယ် bro ဟုတ်တယ် bro ID ပြရမလားကျွန်တော် ID ပြလိုက်ရမလားအမှန်ပြီးကိုနဲ့လုံးချင်တာ bro အားပေးမဲ့လို့မရှိလို့ပြတဲ့ကဲဟိုမန်နဲ့ bro ရဲ့ဒီကိုနဲ့ဗီဒီယိုလုပ်တဲ့ခါလေးပါပြီးအားပေးလိုက်ကြအောင် bro တွေကဲကိုနဲ့ဗီဒီယိုလေးလုပ်ချင်တော့တဲ့အားပေးမဲ့လို့မရှိလို့တဲ့ဒီ bro ကကျွန်တော်လည်း subscriber တော့များရနော် K ကြော်လေးကျွန်တော်က subscriber 1K မကြည့်သေးအေးတော့မှဝင်ငါလေ bro ID ပြရမလားကျွန်တော် ID ပြလိုက်ရမလားနားကဲပြပါ broကဲဒီ bro ကကျွန်တော် ID ပဲ man လောက်တယ်ကြာတေချာတော့ကျွန်တော် ID ပဲ man ပြောလိုက်မယ် ကောင်းနိုင်ပါတယ်ဒီဘရိုစကားလေးခဏခေါ်ပြောတော့
It just didn't work out for them. So now at least they switch up the sides and they ban out the Fanny, they ban out the Valentina. I think, okay, with Oni banning out the Atlas, they don't have the Atlas access anymore. Phoebus is still open. Freya might not be the best pick. Would it be too much if they just rush to the Hirara right now?
I think it's a bit too much again because, okay, there you go.
That's better.
I really like the Eudora, right? If you want to go up against Assassins, if you want to pick up an Assassin as well, the Eudora should be it. And now we're seeing it, kind of escalate in Prio. Love it. But now for Onyx, I don't think they need to pick up an Assassin right now. They just go for, what are the picks? The Belric's gone, Atlas is gone, Marcel's also gone. They go for the Cho, all right, straight up for Rome, a comfort for Keyboy.
Yeah. And honestly,
Nine ကြတယ်ကွာရောဟေး5% လောက်ဘူးလားလေလောက်တယ်ဘရိုရေးပါမယ်လေရဲ့လောက်ကုတ်ချပေးရဲ့
I
ကဲဟောလာကွဲတွေလုတ်ပြီးတော့ကဲ5/5 ဆော့ကျင်ညီကိုလာလုတ်ပေးမယ်လားခဏလေးရတော့တယ်9နိုင်တော့ပဲတော်နမဟုတ်ဆိုတော့ကိုရှိအော်ကိုရှိမှာပါလို့ခွန်ရှိတုံညခွန်တစ်တုံညကဲ5/5 ဆော့ကျင်ညီကိုဂိမ်းတဲ့ကပြရတဲ့ bro ဝဲကြည့်ချင်တာဝါကြီးဝဲတော့မလားလူကဲရမယ်ဒီကြီးကကြရတော့အဆင်ပြေတော့โอเคဝါကြီးဝဲတော့မလားလေးဘူးဒါပေမဲ့တခြားဝဲပါကြည့်မယ်ရ
different. I feel like in the draft as well, it's very much like that M6 Onyx Philippines composition. The Brody gets locked in, we'll read that out.
ဟုတ်ဝါကြီးက9နိုင်လားကျွန်တော်10နိုင်ချင်းနေရတော့
That got them
ခုလည်းအုံးနဲ့ပွဲပဲလာတယ်
one of their only games, their only game actually in the grand finals against Vitality.
Oh yeah, they picked that up quite early on in the series. And now here it shows up in MSC. There is precedence for it. Super Marco and Team Falcons. EH picked it up. Entity 7 seems like they weren't ready for the Brody pick. Or were they? Maybe this very high aggro, high damage, all dive, but definitely fast tempo lineup that the South Americans, the players from Latin America are known for, will be able to force a game 3 for this series. We're going to bow on for now as we head into game number 2. Tossing back on over to Guidon Bush. Sorry, that's Gideon and Naisu. Next, Reptar. It's a great day to be here for Series 3, but also for Onyx, they're looking for the opportunities, but it's about that snowball. Yeah.
They have to play through strong side, which they start at level 1.
They want to build the snowball right now. Ouch. Okay, Revitalize is burnt. I think they're happy with that, but that's going to be tough for reset because this is always what we see. Early game pressure in the mid lane, trading out some battle spells, and so you don't have that Revitalize. It's nothing too crazy, but obviously it's going to kind of change your game plan here. Let's take a quick look at the emblems for now.
Yep, so far the emblems is going to be Master Assassin. No,
Oh,
shit.
hold on, shit.
Trouble.
You don't get a chance.
You got it's one of those moments where it's just like, yeah, you already, the level 1 got messed up.
Yeah.
So you probably shouldn't be the one opening up the bush as well, or maybe using the Fork Lightning as a means to open, but the same can be said about Bagwin, right? You just, gonna have to just open up the map somehow.
Yep.
Look at the control, the tempo, already. Oh, the sidestep from Keyboy.
Oh, look at the pressure actually. Hide on Bush. Again, nowhere to go. Double for Keyboy 3-0 on this Cho. That's a roam Cho, by the way.
By the way, Kyrie is already level 4, like nearly before the minute even started. Like how this is a ridiculous start for Onyx to
Yeah.
build up a 1.6k lead less than 2 minutes into this game. And what sucks about it is that Hana Bush has no camps to actually take. And then he goes up to the EXP. Guess what? No crab there. I gotta go in vain. And Keyboy, he's sniffing it out.
What it feels like is a Harley with no magic right now, man. Like he's starved out. You see that Keyboy is enough pressure. Okay, at least there's a caveat there. Our kill going to the hands of Shin. So a little bit of an overstep probably from Sante. He did burn his flicker in that, but still, man, this is one of those cases where you give up this first turtle. You don't really want to maybe contest this just because of the fact that Hainan Bush has already been delayed enough. If he's delayed further, then we've seen that before be the case.
Yeah, and honestly, and nobody wants to fall behind, especially since Keyboy wants to maintain that passive from his roaming boots. In the meantime, though, I'm looking down on bot side, and Doom is also having a pretty tough time against Keller, who's got an amazing freeze by his tower.
All right, as we expected, Turtle just going to go in the hands here of Onyx. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the map, a little bit of trading going on there. Keyboy will be able to go ahead and take it. He's almost got the flicker available, and now that he's got the kick, he's got that Way of the Dragon. He's going to continue to be a nuisance there in the jungle. On this top side where Kyrie is, though, keeping tabs on him. Good protection, though, coming out from E7. They need to do this. They need to get these guys out of their side of the jungle, and they'll do that behind on Bush. Once again, Kyrie, level 7 goes through. Good thing. Hainan Bush able to get his purple buff.
And great rotation here coming in from Kyrie as well. He's not going back up towards that top side. He just completely decided, you know what, we're going to cut through that mid lane. We're expecting Akashi to actually start participating in these fights. And now they're back on the invade.
Doom's only level 3. Oh no, it gets worse. Shin going down here. The fight for the orange. Hainan Bush won't be able to get that one. And man, someone's got to help Doom here. I just realized, yeah, he's only this level 3 at this point, and Kami's level 8, man.
This is ridiculous.
ridiculous. Like, Kelra has got a permanent freeze here. What is he supposed to do? Like, they need Bagwin to actually come down and break this freeze, or literally anybody to break this freeze. It's, oh, no, he's dead.
No, dude. Okay, BMI, but torn apart memory, okay.
Oh, okay, not bad.
Not enough marks.
Not enough marks. The Purify came in just in time.
Oh, but Keyboy's here. Rest of the team, too. They know this. He's gonna go ahead and get some regen on, but pop the blaze into it. There's Keyboy! Goes in with a kick. Not the target he was probably looking for, so he kicks Shin. Doom does go down, though. We'll vitalize the help. Meanwhile, Kyrie gets a kill across the map against Takashi. But Onyx will continue to build up. Gideon, I don't think we've seen this kind of a lead at the 4-minute mark.
Right now, the game is up to Onyx. Like, if Onyx whiff anything, if they give a shutdown over to E7, maybe there's an opportunity. But if they play just a standard game of constant invades and just using their capital lead that they have, their economic lead, there's just nothing they can do. I mean, I'm looking at this replay and it's just like, what's the point, right? The dive wasn't the cleanest dive, yet it doesn't matter when your base stats are just way higher than your opponents.
Yeah, you can see that too, and the reaction there from Keyboy, obviously. In that too, he picked up the Radiant Armor, so now he can be more durable, you know, against these magic damage dealers that Entity 7 has. And that's all part of the plan of not letting that lead that they built up already so quickly slip out. And this is the thing, another turtle's just gonna go over to Onyx. There's no contest here. So when it's this case, when we have to think of Entity 7's chances of turning the game over on this head, you know, with this kind of landslide right now for Onyx, where is that gonna be? Who is gonna be that person? You know, because Doom, you'd think it'd be the Clon, but my goodness, he was delayed so much, frozen out of his lane.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think this is Christopher's dilemma already. It's like asking a mother who's their favorite child. You gotta pick one, unfortunately, and right now it's not Doom. That's what I can say. Oh no.
Oh gosh, Keyboy under the turret. There's the kick right in between both. They don't care. They'll get a kill. There's the stun, Ludwig. Kyrie with a retribution, gonna chase down Shin. Shin able to get away though, but that's just a preview of how much Onyx can take from Entity 7 as a turret is pushed now in the bottom lane. Tier 2, Doom, nowhere to go. Pop with the Purify. Has to stay alive at all costs, but Kyrie's here. All the iframes to work with, and a torn apart memory from Kelra will cap out another kill.
They can stop. This is a public execution here from Onyx. They are not letting up, and they want to make sure that it is known you can play anything less than perfect.
Couple shots here. All right, flicker burn, at least for Sans. But still, so much work for Entity 7 to deal with that they just have to watch the Tier 2 turret go down nearly here in that bottom lane. It's just Onyx doesn't have anything else to take, so they'll just keep pressing on these turrets.
You know, I've watched a lot of games in my career, but never one where I've been so confident that this game's kind of over already.
Yeah.
It's an 8.4K lead 6 minutes into the game, and these positions are literally impossible to get out of unless Onyx all decide to like run at fountain or something like that. But it's very unlikely. Once you're at a stage where you're already an item and a component ahead of your opponent, it becomes very difficult to actually claw your way back out of this, especially since a lot of the combinations are very single target rather than hitting multiple people. Yeah. And that's the big difference between E7 and Team Liquid's composition. Even though Team Liquid was losing massively at that point in time, the comeback ability comes down to the 5 wombo combo, which they don't have.
Yeah, and what you're seeing here too, you know, there's a phrase over in the Philippines that's used quite a bit. It's called Hunger Games. You hear the professional players say it, where they take everything from the jungle, pretty much. Akashi, they'll take him as well. They're going to be looking for Doom next. Doom will be able to get away with the BM. And now Bagwin trying to run himself away, but it's just way too much. As another goes down for E7, and Onyx will shortly be knocking on these holy defense shields already this early on.
Yeah, look, they just sit in base. Yep, he's already holding on to 2 waves, because what are they gonna do? Like, no DHS? All right, that's fine. Max stacks on Uranus. He's gonna regenerate harder than everybody put together.
Yeah, this is just, at that point, Ludwig just pressing on the wounds for this one.
He's gonna walk into target just to make restart the stacks. Yep,
restart the stacks. Another wave coming through mid. Tier 1 gone. Tier 2 next. They still hold on to the shields. But Entity 7, again, look at this. The glooms. A couple glooms bringing Doom down. to a third of his health.
Dude, Ludwig, I hate, especially when you're playing Uranus at a high level,
Just look at him.
and you have such a lead, he just becomes like the solar system's behind here. Just a dirty little man. Look at him. What are you gonna do? Huh? He still has his ult. And then he puts on up and he does nothing. He's just literally face checking them.
This is only possible when you're 13,000 gold ahead as a team. Bagwin desperately jumping in with the Avatar of the Guardian, but he's just going to go to his death. Luffy still in the base. He hasn't moved at all. A flicker forward from Sans, trying to get the kill. Another defense shield popped, but look, Luffy still not moving from this. He's his own. Entity 7, they're done with the disrespect.
I'm sure hoping that Onyx isn't trying to farm the numbers here because it's looking very, very good so far. Oh, Calamity Reaper going on right on push. Kind of interesting what he's going for here. Wants to make sure that he has a little bit of true damage on top of everything else, but I think right now he kind of needs some sustain. Not to mention that Kelra has been playing equally pixel perfect as well, making sure that he isn't missing a beat. Catching up and cleaning off the majority of these skills, but now that we're coming into the 9th minute of the game, Onyx, this is it, right? No holy shielding on every single side of Entity 7's base. They're going to be able to get this. Zipper, could you pull up the items just in case? I don't want to be wrong about this, but I think that Doom should be like an item and a half. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it hurts.
Uh-oh, it's going to hurt more here. Sans does take some damage. He's got the black shoes. He's going to be fine. A little jump there on the fence. They're going to get run down in their jungle, so ignore the Lord for now. They'll just take a buff, make their way back to it. But what did they get out of that? Again, some of these ultimates used up, battle spells. E7 still wants to show up for this. Potentially, they might just get punished here, though, if they do.
Everything that could have gone wrong in the early game has gone wrong for Entity 7, and I think that as much as it feels soul-crushing for Hydon Bush, it's one of those games that you wish, like, all right, it's a GG, go next. I understand that we're going to have to play through the lower side, but this is really, really rough. I mean, the only few mistakes that Onyx can make, it's difficult for Kyrie because at this stage, he's got enough cooldowns to get his iframes back up before, the killing blow actually comes through. I think it's got to be down to, like, just Sans and Kelra who need to give away these kills, particularly Kelra.
And I don't know if that's going to happen, man.
Usually doesn't do that.
It's usually not the case, but even if it was the case, Entity 7 just doesn't have the firepower. I feel like they almost have to spend too much for them to cap out a kill on an overstep that most likely won't happen from Kelra. Now for Onyx, with this Lord of marching towards the base, the 14,000 gold too is even bigger than the Lord right now. Ludwig up again, lead of the charge. There you go again, just deleted off the map here. 2 base turrets down. Onyx looking to cap it out here under the 12-minute mark once again. One more desperate attempt here from E7, but they'll just lock it down and come in cleaning as Onyx comes in to clean up the series in a sweep against Entity 7.
An absolute massacre, a murder here up in the group stages. Onyx, they're not holding back their punches anymore. They've taken advantage of every little thing in this game, and those who gave away those kills were purely for donation purposes.
Yeah.
Holy cow. This is going to be an exciting MSC. We've seen many upsets. We've seen those who are looking for former glory. They don't want to make the same mistakes past 2-3 years ago, even if we dig far enough. All of these players, they're looking for revenge. They're looking for the top spot.
This was, again, interesting to go through the way that it did, through the drafts, through the picks. But this is also the Onyx that I feel like a lot of people have seen shades of throughout their course of their journey up here to MSC in 2026 for EWC. But again, it's a refined version of them. And I think a big part of that is they're playing into where the meta is currently.
In this game, they made sure that they checked the foundational bookmarks, and most importantly, they went above and beyond and reached for years, but now it feels like he's back to his normal self. Yes, I will disrespect you, I will get everything out of you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, him and Luffy both, man, just having the time of their lives there. Again, think about that, how good of a start that is. A 3-0 start for Keyboy on the show. Just dominant, able to go ahead and just do whatever he wants, basically, in the opposing jungle of E7 here. And then also just, again, when we talked about the discussion about the Hirara and how you have the most success with that hero, your team has to support that to happen, and they did it from the start.
Yep, and from the start to the end, we're going to be now thrown over to our winners up on stage with Rose for the interview.
Thank you very much, guys. And oh my. Onyx with such a dominant sweep
the playing field to MSC.
I have to ask you, what's the difference with playing with Onyx Philippines last year and playing with Onyx this year?
Tagalog yun.
Okay, go!
Ang pinagayuan nila, naglalaro ang kampi yung mga Indonesia ngayon at saka yung comps namin, di ba?
You said playing with Indonesians, they have different comms compared to, I'm pretty sure, Onyx PH last year, where they would primarily communicate in Tagalog. Now, I have to ask you, today was a day filled with surprises and upsets. We saw incredibly fast games. We saw Rafael in the mid lane. I gotta ask you, what do you think about the meta right now?
Yung meta ngayon, ano talaga eh, depende sa team kung may sarili-sariling meta yung mga teams ngayon and wala talagang sinusunod na meta. Yung ngayon, kumbaga kung anong strength mo yung lalaroin mo.
So that as of now, there's actually no specific meta. It's more towards playing towards your strength and just capitalizing on what plays out. You seem very happy to have a translator on stage, huh? So, Kelra, Seta, I want to ask you, your next opponent is going to be Aurora, who just 2-0 clean sweep CL just now. And if we look back to last year, when you met them on your opening match in Onyx Philippines, you guys lost against Rosa Salina. So, what are the preparations for that matchup up against Aurora?
Preparation lang namin na siguro mas ayusin namin yung movement namin and babawi ako sa Aurora kasi tinalo nila kami last EWC.
He said that what he's going to be working on is obviously their map rotations, and he is going to get a revenge match up against Aurora for beating him last EWC. Any words to the fans here in the arena today?
Maraming salamat sa mga puntang Pinay dito eh. Patunay na sila.
Just so that we can revisit. You want me to keep going forward? Just so that we can
goes
revisit
Ebony out
what
here.
happened. Yeah, we pointed it out. They picked up the Eudoras first. They gave up the Cho and the Hirara. But then these two, this screams metas past. If they wanted something a little bit more proactive, if they knew that they had the burst with them and that they're going up against burst, it wouldn't be too crazy to consider picking this up. But then they were thinking, okay, but there's an Esmeralda. Then why don't you pick up the Esmeralda if you're worried that you wouldn't have an answer to the Uranus? And then when the Brody opened up here, you knew it was coming. We knew it was coming out. Miracle called it. They still ended up picking up the Cloud, and then that just ended up being really difficult for them. I feel like they also leaned it a little bit too hard with taking away some of the best picks that you can go for here. For Sun, they took out the Eve, they took out the Juicin, but the Lilia was still wide open, and that was one of the safest picks that you could go for. So yeah, draft choices, a lot of questions, and I will double down on what Virgo has been saying. What we've been saying, they were playing and drafting, not team.
Yeah. I think for me, it's also just like, if you look at the drafts again now, they didn't really have a plan after banning the Eve, because if they wanted to pick up the Claude, if they knew they were going to pick up the Claude,
Right.
why even ban the Eve, right? Like, look at that again. They banned out the Juice and the Eve. They should have banned out the Juicin and the Lilia if the Claude was actually what they were already aiming for all the way from first phase.
Yeah, all right. So now let's look up how this game started out here for Entity 7. There we go. So it was just really a tale of this start here. They fought them over here, and then they continued. With Shin going down, great use of the flicker. Keyboy was aggressive, just the right amount. But he knew that he wouldn't have any help here. And this onslaught would continue. 100 Bush wants to go orange, but then at this point you're thinking, how is a Gatakacha who's about to fall down with a Eudora just coming back supposed to protect with this choke? Not much. It will just trigger a lot of usages from the abilities. Easy burst. Onyx made that start look so easy. It was simple, really. Once they saw where the Roman mid were, once they got a read of where the jungler was, pretty much there was nothing that they could do, and that was it. It was over from the first minute and a half of the game, because that snowballed into just more aggressive plays by Onyx that Entity 7 had no response for. They couldn't even help their gold laner anymore because of how badly they lost the first minute and a half.
Yeah, Onyx going to be facing up against Aurora Gaming tomorrow. Also, that means we're going to see Team Liquid face off against Entity 7. Will it be just as fast? That one's going to be an elimination match as well, so stay tuned for that. We'll get all the details for the bracket. We've still got one more series to go, though. Before we jump into there, let's head over to Chris and Glitter Explosion for Club Championship update here at EWC.
another Club Championship update heading your way. I'm here with Lauren once again. Your stage is very much rumbling away like ours has been as well, but big Club Championship update from you.
Yeah, we have a lot going on. So today we're sending 8 teams home. 8 keys will be crushed as we head into finals. However, our finals could not be any more stacked with the current clubs at the top of our club championship leaderboard, okay? We have the defending champs Twisted Minds, but then we also have Vitality, Navi, AGAL. We have Falcons just solidifying their spot. Yeah, this is going to be a pivotal game for the club championship side of things.
Wow, I mean, which way are you kind of leaning with it? Because I know it's very, very close with that one, but has anybody been standing out?
We actually have a couple teams that aren't in CC standing out right now. We had Myth doing really, really well, but we do have Liquid in there starting to pop off. We see AGL has had some strong performance after a slower start, and honestly, defending champs Twisted Minds also look really good. This could really go anyway.
Excellent. I'm really looking forward. And we're going to be keeping up with everything going on over on Lauren's stage. But there's your little Club Championship update. We'll be keeping up for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower.
Oh yeah, the TV my body after 80
Imagine an entire city built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
The Esports Nation Cup in Riyadh in November. You're going to be able to see 16 games go toe-to-toe for 4 weeks, representing their nations for the first chance to win a title for their club, their nation, and make history. Make sure you are watching the prizing, and not only that, just the glory is going to be on the line in November. It's going to be a lot of fun. Esports Nations Cup coming up. I can't wait for that. Welcome back to the Desco. We've got one more series to go. My name's Randy. I'm joined by Mirko and Rinmar here to talk about Myanmar. Yango Galacticos finally jumping in the conversation. They had to wait all day, see all these wacky results. And now we finally get to see them heading up against Armena, Giants, and GK Esports. Mirko, what's your thoughts heading into this one?
Hey, Young Galacticos have always been a team on my radar, right? Got the honor to actually cast a lot of their games, a lot of their tournaments in the past, their qualifiers to international events, and they've always shown glimpses of brilliance here and there. They show tremendous domination, I mean, in their domestic leagues, but then when it comes to internationals, maybe it's because of the lack of the experience for some of their members, but they just don't shine as much as they shine in their domestic league, especially at M7. Very disappointing result. Coming into MSC, though, again, they had a dominant run, but it was with the utility jungle. Han was fantastic on those picks. Now that we're back on Assassins, there's still going to be a big question mark, because a big part of why they were able to dominate was because of their crazy hero pull on Blink as well. Him pulling off the Assassins in Rome is now no longer possible with the Assassins back in the jungle.
There's going to be a lot of demands here for Young Galacticos to really grow, and we've seen it from even the top teams growing mid-tournament. Now, at least they're operating from the sense of we've had an entire
day so far, 3 matches to be able to catch up of what's new. I wouldn't take it out of the possibility that they're just gonna improvise at the last second and start introducing these new picks. I'm still looking out for Barrett's becoming a big part of the conversation. Meanwhile, for GK, I have the same fear for them. Yes, they had an amazing story in their win in MENA. The fact that they have 2 Mongolian imports, they were able to get a big win in the grand finals against a big organization in Falcons MENA. But then now here they are with not a lot of international experience. How are they going to be able to translate what they did domestically, internationally?
And there's a lot of final days and final games that you can go, okay, great, our turn. This feels like one where you're almost like, do we have to play today? Can we just see one more team go? Is it really that crazy? Are all the upsets happening in Galacticos as we introduce their team up here on your screen? They are a squad from Myanmar. Through the MSL, they want to be here, top 8 at M7. Can they continue that? Their journey to EWC, not like everybody else's, but like everybody else, they are here to win.
Yaga Galacticos, look at me.
We start Young Galacticos on MSL Season 1. After we lose M7, all of us, including the player and the coaching staff, decided to do better. I think we can win this one because of the mindset we adjust and the maturity of all the members of Young Galacticos. They are expecting to be a champion. If we achieve top 4, it's mean a lot in terms of the pride of Myanmar, because back then on M2, Myanmar is one of the top teams.
And now, Warming Schools, have they done it?
They have done the unthinkable, and now they make history. The first Myanmar team to make it and towards the grand finals of the M2 World Championship.
Bringing the Myanmar back on the top 4, it's mean a lot to the people. As a foreigner, what makes me decide to stay on Young Galacticos is because of the dreams of the players. After losing on M7, I think I am accountable for their dreams. I really want to show them that esports can change lives.
Rimar, there's a lot to say about this team.
Yeah, they're pretty strong.
You almost couldn't hold yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't hold myself. I'm really excited. I want to talk about Yaga Galacticos. I mean, with Stitch and Lina no longer being there, still Sanjay and Kai's, I feel like they stepped up to the plate really well for Yaga Galacticos. It's when we were talking about the worry for them, I'm worried for them. Like, how are they going to be able to translate what they did domestically here? But at the same time, it's exciting when you get young players finally being able to step up internationally for the first time, or at least, growing that experience. They're so hungry to prove themselves that they can show off some amazing highlights. Hopefully, they don't forget about the fundamentals.
Yeah, but what a human experience to be in a position at this stage. Young, and also have the opportunity to win. It's not just about the money. It's about the experience of being able to be at such.
Yang đó là họ sao mẹ đèo rồi nó gọi đi gì mà mẹ đèo
Stage so early, Mirko. It's invaluable. Whether you win here or not, you take that with you throughout back to your domestic leagues and then hopefully at AM Series or another MSC.
And it's been so long, I think, too long for us since Myanmar found themselves at the top of the MLBB food chain, right? It was back in M2. You saw that clip earlier. Burmese schools. They were also here in 2024 with with Stitch as well. So I mean, they've had that experience, and I think those were the two members that I was thinking about that could bring the experience to the rest of the team. Unfortunately, in M7, they fell short again. The meta just did not suit them, and unfortunately, we find ourselves in a very similar meta, where again they're gonna have to face off against GK, where on paper, Young Galacticos are obviously the favorites here, but GK with Xeno in the jungle is a very well-versed jungler at playing those assassins. You know, he's played a couple of times as well. He was part of the Versatile Time roster just a few seasons ago and just last season, so a lot of experience. Now with, I believe, Aizen in the lineup, it's going to help Xeno try to balance it out. Maybe for a lot of these imports, they would usually have communication issues, but with Aizen in the lineup, especially just them having that connection from the past, it's going to be very, very good for them to maybe pull another upset. Hey, it's been a day full of upsets already. I can't wait for another one.
That's certainly true. The winner of this can play against Selengar Esports, who beat them, and I think that was that Pro? That was Pro Esports, right? Right out the gate to start the day. So Selengar Esports will actually play the loser of this, and that means that there's a lot at stake. Both two teams, they look good. I wouldn't say I'd want to play against any of them, but maybe when you look at it, GK Esports had already faced a really big task in coming here and being the MENA representative. They had to go against Team Falcons MENA. They won that match. Team Falcons MENA in the other side of the bracket, so we'll follow their journey along. We saw them a little bit yesterday, but we had a chance to talk about the expectations and what they felt going into this tournament. So I believe Eterna sat down with Kwana.
Hey everyone, it's Eterna, and now we are here with Hans, the jungler. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit, but first of all, how are you feeling right now?
Feeling excited because this is our first match.
Excited because it's your first match. Are we detecting a little bit of nerves, maybe? Are you a little bit nervous?
No,
No? Okay, full confidence coming in. So excitingly so, we are going into a very new meta. We can see that the assassins are so prominent. What do you think about the assassins in the jungle right now? Do you think Ling and Hirara are the strongest ones?
yeah, Lee is a stronger one. Yeah.
Who do you think is the strongest?
Clear?
Hero.
Hero. Ling.
Ling is the strongest.
Stronger.
So Ling is stronger than Hirara right now. Is there maybe an assassin that you also think is strong?
Can you repeat it?
Do you also think that there's another assassin that might be strong as well, other than Ling and Hirara?
Other than Ling, Nolan. Yeah, Nolan.
Nolan, okay. We don't see Nolan too often. How do you counter these heroes, Hans?
Counter for diving enemy blue burst. I think blue burst is the main target for them. Yeah.
Okay, so you need to be aggressive, invade the buff as well. Is there a certain hero that could counter these assassins?
One by one.
Just anything that you think?
For the year, I mean, Lee and Hardy can win here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's some good insight coming in from Hans. And of course, maybe people out there might be a little unfamiliar with Yangon Galacticos. So could you, share your playstyle a little bit? What is your team like?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. Are they aggressive? Are you guys aggressive?
I don't know. Last one is the match. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you guys are all good, right?
Yeah.
Happy to be here, excited to play your first game?
Yeah. For the first game, we all excited. Because it's our first MSC.
Okay, first MSC, but they look confident, a little bit shy in the interview. I'm pretty sure it's because of the interview. But do you have maybe a message to your fans back at home?
For the fans, let's watch our match. We approve our play style and performance. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Thank you for supporting us. Yeah.
Thank you for supporting us. We're all supporting you. So once again, good luck, and we're throwing over back to the panel.
Well, as a day full of surprises continues, that was actually not GK Esports, and that was not Kwanat. That was Han from Yangon Galacticos. But what'd you feel about what he had to say?
I think it proves that he's adapted a lot to the meta, right? Again, back in the day, utility jungle, even in Myanmar, in the MSL Super League, it's all about him playing utility. So the fact that he knows all this knowledge on the assassins. I think he's already been practicing a lot of that, which means Blink should have already adapted to tanky voice.
To honor, however, where our conversation was leading, let's get some thoughts on GK Esports coming into this as well, Rinmar. Obviously, you mentioned representing MENA, but in your take, what is the style that they going up against this squad is going to present? Is it going to be weird? Is it going to be a little different? Is it going to be unique to them? How do you feel they're going to approach handling this meta right now?
I think it's going to be chaotic. I mainly based their performance off of what we saw in the grand finals in FPL MENA.
Yeah.
But considering GK and then how Falcons MENA, the energy that they brought, being in that huge live crowd for the very first time, the largest crowd that they've had for the league. They were everywhere, honestly. It was so chaotic, it was hard to read them. Even looking at the Roman trio with Quanog, with Shen, and even with Zeno, there were some moments I was wondering, why are they doing this? But they're making it work because Falcons are playing into it. So maybe if there's something that GK can do here to throw Yangon Galacticos off this game, is that make Yangon play a game that's a little bit undisciplined, because that's what GK wants. They want you to get roped into their tempo, their dance floor, and that might work out well for them.
Is it true to think that Yangon Galacticos starts out as maybe a dark horse in this tournament? Maybe teams from Myanmar have done that in the past, but then always end up kind of turning that narrative around and being contenders?
For some reason, it's always kind of weird for these Burmese teams, because every time you expect them to be a threat, every time you expect them to be dark horse, they underperform like massively. But when you come into a different tournament and you think, all right, Yangon, Burmese teams are not going to be too good this tournament, then they make it all the way to the grand finals, a top 4 finish, and they surprise everybody. So I'd say for the Burmese fans, for everybody around the world who want Yangon to do well, let's not expect too much from Yangon Galacticos.
The reverse curse, right?
Yes.
You don't want to say too much. You agree with that, Rimar?
Yeah, that's why maybe I'm a little bit more
quiet,
what I'm
calm,
expecting
you're
from
relaxed.
GK Esports. Yeah, 77% for Yangon Galacticos. So it seems like there are a lot of expectations for them.
Have you not learned? Guys, no, predict Yangon's opponents every time, okay?
But maybe this works. Maybe this works because every prediction has basically gone the other way today.
That's true. This could bode really well
You know?
for GK Esports, man.
The reverse curse could be happening.
Reverse psychology.
That's right. That's right. You're back at a 360, right where you started. Wait a second.
This is why my degree is different.
That's
I'm more in the liberal arts.
Yeah, exactly. Psychology.
You got a degree?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
cool.
cool, man.
So you got a degree in what? Casting and
Yeah, MLBV.
content and streaming.
Content, yapping.
Yapping,
FW.
style.
I got a master's at
You
yapping.
got plenty of things, Mirko. People trying to get like you, all right? Rimar, Mirko, thanks for the prelude to this set. It's going to be an amazing series to close out our day. We've got so much action across our 3. I know 4 is going to be a bright spectacle as well. So without further ado, let's get started.
You know what? Today we have had surprises, upsets, and we also had an 8.6k gold lead in 6 minutes into the game. Today is a crazy day, Milosh.
There's a reason why Onyx are called the Sky Kings, and I think they really did prove it despite the best efforts of Entity 7. It's just teething issues, right? Day 1, you're on the big stage. Fair enough, I'm sure they'll bring it back.
I agree, but you know what? Today is so crazy. And of course, to wrap up our day with the last match of day 2, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Yangon Galacticos! They are looking to establish themselves on the international stages once again. Yangon Galacticos is back and ready to show that the Burmese representatives are not here to play. Top 8 finish in M7. There is nothing wrong with aiming higher.
Not too shabby. Let's bring them out. Their opponents on the other side. It's GK Esports! From returning veteran to rookie, their new roster shows so much promise.
Okay, live မကောင်းဘူး9နာရီတော့ဟုတ်တယ်9နာရီပေါ့
Reliably done on the big stage, I'll tell you that. Can the pressure shape Meta's long-awaited breakthrough on the MLBB stage?
You know what, Milosh? This will definitely be a match to watch out for everybody out there.
Oh yes, equals in some ways, a lot to prove others. So please, GK, please, our good friends for Adiango and Galacticos, you may go place your keys, take your seats, and make sure, captains, to shake hands. Fadal. All good, gentlemen. Please, let's set this one up. There's a bit of shyness in it here, but there's a technique to the handshake, Rose. We'll be seeing a lot of these as we go.
Oh, so nice about it. They're very gentle about it. I love it.
There's our matchup, our final one of today in the group stage. Let's send it back to our panel and get things rolling.
Thank you so much, Milos and Rose. It's the final series of the day here in day 2 of MLBB MSC at EWC 2026. We're going to get ready to go into that draft, but it is going to be, for me, a really great end of the day, guys. If we keep being surprised, but we have a competitive set. That's what I want to see as a viewer, as a fan. I think the sets that we got today, even though they surprised us in some ways, when they went the distance, that was what gave us, I think, the best look at learning something long-term. Because when you get down to those teams, especially now that they meet after 2 winners meet, it's going to be a very contested set. And that's where those metas, I guess, core elements are going to be pushed to their limits. So where you might have to go to, sure, you're banning the Harara well, you're prioritizing how you're dealing with the Ling or using it. But what's after that? Like, what's the step after that now both teams are doing that? You only get to see that in a high-level contested match, and I feel like this could be the chance. And I know at the end of the day, it will be, especially if you guys have the chance right now to go into shop to grab your new interactive effect that's available to celebrate Happy Rhino Day. So make sure to check it out in shop, and you can continue chatting about this series, Roar.
Yeah. Well, when we were talking about what comes after that, it seems like based off of the most surprising results, there's 2 names popping up more, Uranus and Barons. And with having EXP laners that can play high invade, not because they're fast, but because you just can't do much to them early on if you don't have the right damage profile. And even if you get your power spike post first turtle, you still don't have the right damage profile to deal with the Barons, to deal with the Uranus. It just pulls so much gravity towards where they are in the map that whichever team has one of those picks, seems like they're more free to do things in the other side of the jungle or in the
Yeah. Okay, go on, grow. 2 minutes ပဲလို့ပြောတယ်ငားထားတယ်ဘရိုပဲရောက်ပါလဲဘရိုဒီအောင်လားမစောက်ဘူးနော်ဘရိုသူကကြာရင်နောက်ပြီးကွဲစားကြတာနောက်ပြီးကွဲစားပြတာဘရိုရေအောင်လားအဝငားထားတယ်ဘရိုမစင်းနဲ့တော့ရဘရိုခေါ်တော့မခေါ်သေးဘရိုဒါမှ9နာရီဘရိုမှာ10မိနစ်ပဲဘရိုရေကဲငားထားတယ်ဘရိုမစင်းပါနဲ့ဘရိုရေတော့じゃကိုယ်တိုင်ငါကိုယ်တိုင်မပါပဲနေလိုက်ပြီလာရတဲ့ကြာနေရောကဲ9နာရီတော့ထိုးတော့မယ်ရောကြီးနိုင်ကြာနေဘရိုတွေကျွန်တော်အားပေးကြပါဦးယူလေးကြာနေလိုက် share လုပ်ပြီး subscriber လေးလုပ်ခဲ့ပြကြအောင်ကဲဒီ subscriber 659ကျင်တယ်ဘရိုတွေနောက်တဲ့4ယောက်ပဲလို့လုပ်ခဲ့ပြကြပါလုပ်ခဲ့ပြကြပါ subscribe လေးလုပ်ခဲ့ပြကြပါအောင်ဘယ်တော့မခေါ်သေးဘူးနော်ဟိုဘရိုခေါ်ပြီးမေးကြည့်တောင်းမယ်မခေါ်နေချူပါပြီ ကဲ9နိုင်2မိနစ်လောက်ရှိတယ်ရအောင်နားမလားသေးပြီတခြားတော့မေးကြည့်တော့မယ်တို့ခေါ်လေးဦးတော့အရာကြီးဒီညလားမနေ့ကညလားမသိဘူးမေးကြည့်တော့ဘယ်ရော哦，马好嘞。